The face of this woman graces the 50,000 won banknote, the largest bill in Korea. Everyone sees her, but few know her story. For centuries, she has been revered as a virtuous mother, a symbol of artistic talent. But what if we could peel back those layers of time to discover the woman herself, to understand the quiet rebellion of a young girl who dared to read and draw in a world that expected her only to sew and cook? This is the immersive history of Shin Saimdang. The year is 1504, and you are standing in Gangneung, a quiet coastal town in the Joseon Dynasty, a time of cultural flourishing, but also of strict tradition. Her name is Shin Saimdang, born to a family with an uncommon belief for its time. Her father saw a brilliant mind and nurtured it. While many girls were taught to sew and cook, Shin Saimdang was given the freedom to read, write, and draw. You walk through the home of her childhood, and you see the tools of an artist: scrolls, inkstones, brushes. A widely known historical fact is that she became proficient in poetry and calligraphy, skills reserved for men. An eccentric curiosity here: she had a pen name, Saimdang, a tribute to a historical figure known for her virtue. This choice shows a young woman already thinking deeply about her purpose, an ambition that feels so modern, yet was born in a world so long ago. The freedom to create and express herself was the first and most important gift she ever received, a gift that set her on a path filled with both immense joy and profound struggle. As you walk through the years that follow, you feel a new sense of anticipation in the air. The young girl you met is now on the verge of marriage. In the Joseon Dynasty, a woman was expected to leave her family home and join her husband's. Her identity? An extension of his lineage. But for Shin Saimdang, her future would be different. It began with a remarkable man and a family decision that went against tradition. This man was Lee Won-soo. By all accounts, not a man of great ambition. He came from a less prominent background. But in him, Shin Saimdang's father saw a partner who could accept something truly extraordinary. You are sitting with the family now, listening to the marriage details. In a time when patriarchy was becoming the iron rule, Lee Won-soo would move into their home, a custom that was a fading remnant of a more egalitarian past. This was not just a marriage, it was a strategic act of love. A father who understood that for his daughter to be a great artist, she needed a sanctuary, a place where her brushes and paper were as important as her kitchen. The fact that her future husband agreed shows a quiet respect. You see him now, a simple man, willing to make a compromise. It's funny to think about what the neighbors must have been saying. He's living with her. They say she wears the trousers. The truth is, it was her father's gift to her, a way of saying, your talent is not a hobby. It is a part of who you are, and it deserves to be nurtured. This unconventional arrangement was not a magic solution. You sense the subtle tensions. Lee Won-soo lacked the intellectual fire Shin Saimdang possessed, a man content with a simpler life, while she was a woman driven by a profound need to create. You feel the weight of this mismatch, not as a source of anger, but as a quiet, constant hum beneath the surface of their lives. Historians still debate how common this arrangement was. Was her father a true anomaly, or were there others? For Shin Saimdang, it was her reality, a special kind of freedom that came with its own frustrations. Her private world was protected, but the demanding world of Joseon society was always looming, defining her not by her brushstrokes, but by her family. Even with the best intentions, a single person's support could not fully shield her from an entire culture. As you move through the home, you feel the passage of time. A young bride is now a mother, surrounded by the warmth of a growing family. In this quiet, domestic world, her life's great conflict is taking shape. She felt a profound responsibility to mold her 7 children, just as a woman of her class was expected. And yet, in the moments between her duties, you see the artist in her, still yearning to breathe. You watch her late at night, a single lamp burning. She sits with her brush and paper, her paintings of grapes and flowers, not a hobby, her soul's true language. There's a famous anecdote that captures the power of her work, an eccentric curiosity, a story that historians love to tell. She once painted a grasshopper so realistically that a curious chicken pecked at the painting. This story, passed down through generations, is a testament to a talent that was not just beautiful, but vibrantly real. A moment of pure joy in a life that was becoming increasingly complex. For the artist, her art was self-expression, a way to capture simple beauties. But for the mother, her art became a tool for education. She didn't just teach her children, she showed them. She would paint with them, read to them, and guide them with her example. Her philosophy was surprisingly modern. She believed each child had a unique gift, a concept her son, Yulgok Yi I, would later immortalize. But you also see the shadows that fell over her life, her marriage, not without its difficulties. The man who lived in her home, Won-soo, struggled with his own demons. There are accounts that he was unfaithful, and his lack of ambition caused her great distress. You feel the silent pain of it, a private struggle, but also profoundly public. There is a powerful anecdote that captures her fortitude. At a banquet, a maid accidentally spilled soup on a woman's silk skirt. Shin Saimdang, seeing the woman's distress, painted beautiful flowers over the stains, turning an unfortunate accident into a work of art. The woman was then able to sell the skirt for a high price, showing not just her artistic brilliance, but her compassion. What historians still debate is just how much her inner conflict contributed to her early death, a soul stretched too thin between her responsibilities and her dreams. You see the stress in the lines on her face, a life of extraordinary beauty, but also a life of profound struggle. As you feel the weight of her struggles, the journey takes a turn toward its end. The artist, the mother, the woman who carried such a heavy burden, passed away at the young age of 48 in the year 1551. Her death rippled most profoundly in the life of her son, Yulgok Yi I, a boy of just 16. His world collapsing around him, the grief was immense. So great that it led him to seek solace in a Buddhist monastery. It was a choice that shows the depth of his love for her. You see how a legacy begins to take shape. For centuries, the fame of Shin Saimdang was tied to the success of her son. The boy she had guided became one of the greatest philosophers in history. Her reputation grew with him, but her image as a wise mother and virtuous wife began to overshadow her own accomplishments. The story of her life, no longer about a talented woman, but about a perfect mother. This is a point where historians have a lively debate. Was her image a genuine reflection of her life or a political project? After Yulgok Yi I's death, his disciples used the image of his mother to elevate his authority, a posthumous marketing campaign that erased the woman you have just come to know. The artist with the stained skirt, the human with a divided heart. But even with her image co-opted, her work remained.
As you look at the last remaining pieces of her art, you can see the woman herself, the confident strokes of her brushes, the delicate details, the quiet beauty in her calligraphy. The paintings are not just pretty pictures, they are artifacts of a life lived with a fierce determination. Her legacy, you realize, is not just in her son, but in the enduring beauty of her work and in the very human story that lives on in her art and on the banknote you hold in your hand.
And so, the journey of Shin Saimdang, from the courtyards of Gangneung to the pages of history, is now complete. As you return to the present, you carry with you not just the facts of her life, but the feeling of it. Her story isn't just in books. It's alive in a place you can still visit today. Just as the black bamboo that gave her birthplace its name still grows, so too does her legacy. Her birthplace, Ojukon, the black bamboo house, is a living testament to her enduring spirit. This house, Korean treasure number 165, stands as a monument, not just to her, but to the idea that history is a collection of countless human stories, each with its own heartbeat, waiting to be discovered. I hope this story gives you a new perspective on the woman on the banknote, and that it encourages you to look a little closer at the history around you. What small stories do you think are hidden in plain sight? What historical figure deserves a more human portrait? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your support means the world to me. If this journey moved you, please consider hitting that like button and subscribing. It's how we keep these stories alive and how we continue to explore the incredible human tapestry of history. The book of Korean history is immense, and tonight, we've only turned a single page. I'll be waiting for you, right here, when it's time to turn the next one.